What's going on? Today I'm going to be doing my top 10 power forwards in a very, very good list. I mean, look at this list, it's so wonderful. My top 10 power forwards, let's start. At number 10, I got Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol originally played at center, but I believe he shifted. At power forward, I think the only time that he played center was when he went to the Lakers for position convenience. But there must be a theory about power forwards just being like centers because there's there seems to be no difference in a way. But let's start. Yeah, number 10, Pau Gasol, the championship with Kobe Bryant, and that's how everything started. Obviously, a steal for the Lakers when they traded him for him, but Pau Gasol was the very first. I wouldn't say very first, but an example of a big man, power forward that could do everything. He had the mid range. He could pass the ball. And yeah, I'm not sure about his defensive thing, like his defensive capabilities, but he could do everything, won the championship, and that's good. My number 9, I got Kevin McHale. Very, very long wingspan. I believe it's like 8 feet wingspan. Just a defensive. He could do a lot of stuff due to his wingspan. Very tall, um, and was a key contributor to the Boston Celtics in the 80s that won those championships. I was surprised that he was actually a six man, started off as a six man and kind of entered the roster. Um, but yeah, Kevin McHale, extremely good defensively, extremely good at scoring, post work, and yeah. Number 8, Chris Webber. His time at Sacramento, what he did efficiently, wonderful, wonderful stuff. He couldn't go get across the finish line, but he was always, always, always close. My number 7 is Anthony Davis, and I know that it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate how your career can be turned so fast. Now he's just known as the guy that get injured when I guess the glass man that just gets injured out of nowhere and stuff like that. But there was a time that anybody that uh, anybody that knows and looked at basketball, especially I think he played in Kentucky or Duke. I don't remember very well, but it was one of the blue bloods, and nobody saw that he was going to be the offensive that he was. Everybody was just looking at him as defense. So when he comes into the league and he's a 28, 13, and 3 blocks a game, it's like, whoa, we didn't see that coming. Obviously, he has that little time at New Orleans. Whoop de whoop. He gets traded to the Los Angeles Lakers where he wants one championship, and I think by far his best season was that 2019-2020 season where he's just there's no fault that he can do. He's on the he doesn't like to play center, but he's just one of the best power forward during that season. Him and LeBron are just they have the same mind, and it was very interesting. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out the way that they wanted to, and yeah, now he's traded, and just got traded to the Wizards a couple of months ago. But let's go to the next one, Elvin Hayes. Elvin Hayes, an old NBA player, but the reason why I have him above and Anthony Davis is because simply because of uh, the time being played. What was that saying? Availability, something like that. He was available at every time, just working and working. Unfortunately for him, and he got championship. Finished his season in Houston. Started at Houston, went to the Bullets. I'm not really sure, but his main issue was his attitude and his temper. He does when you start looking at his history, you just realize how he wasn't really a guy to be around the locker room, but he just did what he needed to do, and yeah, Dolph says, sorry for the pronunciation, but a player in the '60s could space the floor. Once one of the the first kind of big men that you kind of see stretching the floor in terms of mid range, a little bit of passing. Just a player advanced for his era, giving us a glimpse of what the future might look like. Very successful, um, and just more efficient and a better locker room guy. And I believe he won championship as well, which was him above, and he was available. At number four, we got Bob Petit. Bob Petit, two MVPs, one with Atlanta, I believe the only championship with Atlanta, and he just took advantage of the era of the 60s. I believe it was before Bill Russell and just that whole dynasty started, but he just took advantage. One championship for Atlanta, yeah, one MVPs. Only a few people have that criteria. Number three, Charles Barkley, and I mean we you see him on TNT and everything like that. Very opinionated kind of a person, but at the end of the day, his power forward is ranked on top. Um, Shout out to him. Big shout out to him for like coming into the 76ers. Moses Malone, I think everybody knows the story. Moses Malone just told him to shred some weight and he will be destructive, and he put his work in. He put his work in. He worked out, shredded some weight, and was dominant. The thing about it is that you can't hide history, and especially when people start digging in, there's no hiding. And his stay at the 76ers when they were not winning, he was just asking to get out. He wanted to get traded, and not only did he want to get traded, he wanted to get traded to the Trailblazers or the Phoenix Suns, and which, by the way, this was I believe the Trailblazers at that time was the number one seed prior to that year, and the Phoenix Suns was the number two. So is it a is it the kind of Kevin Durant move? A little bit, kind of, but which is why I think, I mean, I wouldn't be like Shaq, but it's definitely like you give that sort of like Shaq kind of a view of why couldn't you win, and of course winning is difficult, but you didn't want to get traded to any other team. You wanted to get traded to the best teams at this particular time in the West, and obviously you had to go across Michael Jordan. If I think about it, I mean, obviously if you're still in the East, you have to go through Michael Jordan, but given a chance at the final stage would be more, I guess, easier to get the championship. But obviously, Charles Barkley is a double double kind of guy: 20 points, 10 rebounds, an MVP, and yeah, unfortunately did not get a championship, but it is what it is. Number two, Kevin Garnett. I think anyone would be scared of playing with him. Just very passionate and shows his emotions very, very loud. He's my number two. Uh, Not only because of his just him spacing the floor in the mid-range game, very, very good at the mid-range. I believe he was a decent free throw shooter, but especially at his size, an excellent defender, a crazy defender. He could not allow his opponent to get past him, which is just incredible to see the kind of passion. Won the championship with the Boston Celtics. What a stacked team. I think that's one of the most stacked team of all time. That Boston Celtics is just too many talents. And yeah, at my number one, we got Carmelo. Carmelo, just super efficient. Longevity is exactly that. Longevity average around 29 and 11, and yeah, an efficient guy. Longevity was there, and multiple MVPs above sometimes Michael Jordan and etc. So these are my top 10 power forward. Let me know what you guys think.